The fuel tank of a certain airplane can hold up to 300 gallons of fuel. Let W be the total weight of the airplane in pounds. Let F be the total amount of fuel in its tank in gallons. Suppose that W equals 6F plus 4,000 gives W as a function of F. Identify the correct description of the values in both the domain and range of the function, which is this part here. Then, for each, choose the most appropriate set of values, which will be over here. For the first part, to figure out which variable is in the domain and the range, I look for this expression right here, because this expression really helps me out. It says that W is a function of F. That translates to me as W as a function of F. The variable here, F, is my input. Inputs get mapped to the domain. And this variable here, W, is an output. And that gets mapped to the range. Based on this, I know that my input, which is going to be this one, domain, is going to be represented by F. And then the output is going to get mapped here to the range, and that's going to be W. Now I go back up here to my word problem where it says the value F. It says F here is the total amount of fuel in this tank. Therefore, for the description here, for the domain, I'm going to pick this for my choice, for my answer. Amount of fuel in the airplane's tank. And then W, in the word problem, says W is the total weight of the airplane in pounds. That means that for this one, the answer is this right here. So I select those two. This one is domain, this is the range. And now we have the last part, which is the set of values for the domain and the range. To figure out the set of values, I create a table. The input is first, output is second. Don't forget, the input in this case is F. So I'm going to label my table with an F here. The output is the range, and that's W. In order to fill out this table, we need to find 4 numbers. That's it. And the hardest part is figuring out the inputs. Here's what you have to do to figure out the inputs. You want to ask yourself, what is the lowest possible value and the highest possible value for the amount of fuel in the airplane's tank? In other words, what is the lowest amount of fuel an airplane's tank can hold? You have to figure it out on your own. They're not going to tell you. And by thinking about it, I know that the lowest amount of fuel a tank can hold is 0. 0 gallons. You can't go less than that, because you'll get a negative number and it wouldn't make sense. Now I'm going to put a couple dots here, 3 dots. And now I need to figure out what is the most amount of fuel the airplane's tank can hold. And I use the information from the word problem to figure that out. Up here it says the fuel tank of a certain airplane can hold up to 300 gallons of fuel. So that's the most the airplane's tank can hold, 300 gallons. So the lowest is 0 gallons, highest is 300. Now that we have those two values, we're going to figure out the outputs. To figure out the outputs, we are going to take our function that was given, W equals 6F plus 4,000. And what we're going to do is take the first input, the lowest value, and substitute it in place of F in my function. So I get W equals 6 times 0 plus 4,000. Follow the order of operations. I would get 0 plus 4,000, and the final result would be 4,000. So when the airplane's fuel tank has 0 gallons, the weight of the plane will be 4,000. And that will be in pounds. Now I just got to figure out what is the output for the highest value. Using the same function, I'm going to replace F with the higher amount, which is now 300 gallons. And we're going to simplify using order of operations. Here I get 1,800 plus 4,000. And when I simplify this, I get 5,800 or 5,800. That means when the airplane has 300 gallons of fuel, the weight of the plane is going to be 5,800 pounds. The last part is going to be just to simply pick the set of values that go with the answers we got. So for my domain, which is going to be this set of values here, it's going to be from 0 to 300. So I look for that answer, and I can see it's this one, the set of all numbers from 0 to 300. Then for the range, which is all the values for W, my lowest and highest values are 4,000 and 5,800. So I look for those, and I can see that the set of all numbers from 4,000 to 5,800 will be this choice here. And that's it.